Assalamu alaikum dear students. Today we have to study our new topic of chapter number 7 about bipolar junction transistor. And today we will discuss the amplification with BJTs. Yesterday in the lecture we have studied the three terminal currents of transistor. One was the base current, second was the emitter current, and third was the collector current. If we move back to our previous lecture and just concentrate on the figure in which we constituted PNP transistor, and we just saw that holes were traveling from the emitter to the base, and then from the base they move to the collector. Emitter base circuit was forward bias and the collector base circuit was reverse bias. Now there are 5 possibilities which can take place when we make the emitter base circuit forward bias and the collector base circuit reverse bias. Number 1 is the injected holes last to recombination in the base. That is, when holes move from the emitter to base, then some injected holes are lost due to recombination with the electrons, and leftover holes will reach to the collector, forming the 2, which is shown by the number 2, that is the holes which reach to the collector, and only few holes are lost during the recombination process in the base. Now, third mechanism that can take place, that some thermally generated electrons and holes can make up the reverse saturation current, and the fourth one is that the electron split by the base contact for the recombination with holes. That is, if when some electrons are lost in the base, then it is due to recombination hole coming from emitter, then those electrons are resplit by the base contact. And fifth phenomena which can take place, that some electrons can move from the base to emitter. Yesterday we discussed that among 3 main phenomena, that is recombination of electrons with holes in the base, moving some electrons from base to the emitter, even your emitter is heavily doped and your base is lightly doped. These 2 are the dominant mechanism which affect the total emitter current while it reaches to the collector. But the third phenomena, that is due to some thermally generated electrons which can constitute reverse current of the collector junction, it can be just neglected. Basically, the transistor is useful in amplifier because the currents at the emitter and collector are controllable by relatively small base current. The essential mechanisms are easy to understand if various secondary effects are neglected. We shall use the total current, that is DC plus AC in this discussion, with the understanding that the simple analysis applies only to DC and small signal AC at low frequencies. We can relate the terminal currents of the transistor by several important factors. In this introduction, we shall neglect the saturation current at the collector. Please see the component 3 of figure 7.3 and such effects as recombination in the transition regions. Under these assumptions, the collector current is made up of entirely of those holes injected at the ammeter which are not lost in recombination in the base, and thus the collector current is proportional to the ammeter current. Where the proportionality factor B is simply the fraction of injected holes which made it across the base to the collector, and B is called the base transport factor. Now we must know that the total current IE is made up of the whole current component and electron component due to the electron injected from base to the ammeter. Please refer to the component 5 of figure 7.3. So the ammeter injection efficiency gamma is defined by the whole ammeter current divided by the total current due to ammeter. For an efficient transistor, we would like that this base transport factor B and this current ammeter injection efficiency gamma be very near to unity. That is, the ammeter current should mostly due to holes, and most of the injected holes should eventually participate in the collector current. That is, for an efficient BJT, B should be equal to 1, and as well as ammeter injection efficiency should also be equal to 1. Thus, the relation between the collector current and ammeter current is given by the collector current divided by the total ammeter current. And if we take this ammeter current divided by the total whole ammeter current divided by total ammeter current by ammeter injection efficiency, then this is equal to B gamma, and we define this equal to alpha, that is current transfer ratio. That is, ratio of collector current to ammeter current gives us the current transfer ratio, which represent the ammeter to collector current amplification. But there is no real amplification because alpha is lesser than 1. On the other hand, the relation between collector current and base current is more promising for amplification. It means we cannot forget the role of base current in the amplification of our BJT. So, in accounting for the base current, we must include the rate at which electrons are lost from the base by injection across the ammeter junction. That is our component 5 of figure 7.3, and the rate of electron recombination with holes in the base. In each case, the lost electron must be resupplied through the base current IB. If the fraction of injected hole making it across the base without recombination is B, then it follows that 1 minus B is the fraction of recombining in the hole. Now we are neglecting 3 component, that is motion of electron or hole, which create reverse saturation current of collector, and we are just considering 2 contribution. Number one is the some electrons which are moving from the base to the emitter, and some electrons which are resupplied by the base to make up those electrons which are waste during recombination. So if we write the base current, then we should consider the emitter hole current, that is, and second is the fraction recombining in the base multiplied by the hole component of emitter. So this makes our total base current. Hence, when we take the ratio between the collector current and base current, so we get this type of a relation. When we open in the denominator, when we open the bracket, and we can just add the contribution from the electron in the emitter plus hole in the emitter, and we can get the total emitter current. So the denominator become the total emitter current minus the base transport factor multiplied by the whole contribution in the emitter current. And now if we divide this whole equation by the total emitter current, then we get such type of relation. And we know that ratio of the whole emitter current to total current is the emitter current efficiency, so we can write it as gamma. So B gamma divided by 1 minus B gamma, and we know that base transport factor and the emitter injection efficiency gamma is the current transfer ratio. So in the numerator we will write alpha, and in denominator we will write 1 minus alpha. And we can just see that when alpha is tending to 1, then our beta become infinity. So this beta is called the base to collector current amplification factor, which shows that collector current is very much large than the base current. We have discussed the contribution of base in the collector current, but it remains to be shown that the collector current can be controlled by variation in the small current, that is small base current. In the discussion of this point, we have indicated control of collector current by the emitter current with the base current characterized as a small side effect. In fact, we can show from the space charge neutrality arguments that IB, that is base current, can indeed be used to determine the magnitude of collector current. Let us consider a transistor of figure 7.4 in which the base current is determined by the biasing circuit. For simplicity, we shall assume unity emitter injection efficiency and negligible collector saturation current. Since the n-type base region is electrostatically neutral between two transition regions, the presence of excess hole in transit from the emitter to collector calls for compensating excess of electron from the base contact. However, there is an important difference in the time which electron and hole spend in the base. The average excess time which a hole spends is time tau t, defined as transit time from emitter to collector. Since the base width WB is small as compared to the diffusion length LP, this we have discussed previously in the last lecture, this transit time is much less than the average whole lifetime tau p in the base. On the other hand, an average excess electron supplied from the base current spends top seconds in the base supplying space charge neutrality during the lifetime of an average excess hole, while the average electron waits top seconds for recombination. Many individual holes can enter or leave the base region, each with an average transit time t. In particular, for each electron entering from the base contact, tau p over tau t is the holes that can pass from emitter to collector while maintaining space charge neutrality. Thus, the ratio of the collector current to base current is simply the ratio of tau p divided by total transit time from emitter to collector. This is for the emitter efficiency 1, when the emitter efficiency is 1 and negligible collector saturation current. If electron supply to the base is restricted, that is, if some electrons are recombined in the base and more electrons are not supplied to the base, or electrons go to the emitter and more electrons not supplied, then traffic of holes from the emitter to base is correspondingly reduced. This can be urged simply by supposing that hole injection does continue despite the restriction on electrons from the base contact. So, the result would be net build-up of positive charge in the base and loss of forward bias, and therefore loss of hole injection at the emitter junction. Clearly, the supply of electron through IB can be used to raise or lower the hole flow from the emitter to the collector. Now in figure 7.4, the base current is controlled independently, and this circuit which is shown in figure 7.4, this is called the common emitter circuit. That is, the emitter is common with the base and emitter is also connected to the collector. The emitter junction is clearly forward biased by the battery in the base circuit. The voltage drop in the forward base emitter junction is small, however, so that almost all of the voltage from collector to emitter appear across the reverse biased collector junction. Since VBE is small for the forward biased junction, we can neglect it, and approximately the base current is the ratio of the 5 volt the battery attached with the base and emitter and the resistance attached with this circuit. So this gives just the base current equal to 0.1 milliampere. If our whole transit time is tau p and the total transit time is tau t, so when we take the ratio, then beta, that is current amplification factor, become equal to 100 and the collector current turns out to be 10 milliampere. It is important to note that IC, that is collector current, is determined by beta and the base current rather than the battery and resistor in the collector circuit. In this example, 5 volt of the collector circuit battery voltage appears across the 500 ohm resistor and 5 volts serve as the reverse bias of the collector junction. As here it is shown that total current, base current, is 0.1 milliampere, which is very small as compared to collector current, which is beta time the base current and it becomes 10 milliampere. If small AC current IB is superimposed on the steady state base current of figure 7.4a, a corresponding AC current IC appears in the collector circuit. The time varying portion of the collector current will be IB multiplied by the factor beta and the current gain results. As you can see that IB current is represented by small signal, and then the IC current is represented by the magnified signal. We have neglected a number of important properties of transistor in this introductory discussion, and the many of properties will be treated in detail in the next section. We have, however, established the fundamental basis of the operation for the bipolar transistor and have indicated in a simplified way how it can be used to produce current gain in an electronic circuit. At this, I come to end of this lecture. I will assign you an assignment in your Google class and you will solve that assignment and send me back. That will also show me attendance of you in today's lecture. Thanks for your attention.